What is up, everybody? This is Ryan the Jenkins. Today I'm doing some unsolicited website reviews. We're going to take a look at hawkhill.com. We're going to look at it from a search ranking perspective, as well as see if we can make any recommendations for usability or conversion rate optimization. All in all, just how they can improve their business, how they can grow their revenue. So let me shrink myself down here. All right. So this is a projects website. It's a content site. Lots of articles, lots of instructional stuff. Nice, clear navigation. Lifestyle, apartment hacks, stylish life hacks, art. Here's farm and garden. Let's see. Okay, farm and garden, equestrian style. Like, okay, this is equestrian home design. Farm and garden, equestrian style, garden barnyard. Okay, DIY tutorials. All right. This is probably pretty nitpicky, but I don't know. Like, are these things here not DIY? Isn't everything on here DIY? So I don't know how these differentiate from these. Maybe they do. Maybe I just have to get more familiar with the site. Nice logo. They've got a favicon. That's great. Pretty well put together there. All right, so these look like, I don't know if they're the most recent articles or if these are like hand-picked featured articles, but there are only 4 here, and then we've got confidence to get started. So maybe these are categories. Yeah, so some of these are categories. Some of them look like articles directly. So that's a little confusing. Might make it more clear, that you're choosing specific categories. Okay, so here we've got the latest posts. Why stop at 6? Why not show 12, 18, or infinite scroll and just keep loading more as I scroll down? So I don't know why limit there. I don't know why this one either was not set up with a featured image, or for whatever reason it just didn't load for me. No, it looks like it may not have a featured image on it, so that's probably a fix. Let's go ahead and open some of these up in new windows. Let's go to one of these was, this is a category page. And okay, terms, disclosures. Now these are going to be basic template pages. Gathered for the newsletter. Okay, well, let's see what that looks like. About us. Okay, there's about Hawk Hill and then about. This is /about, and this one's /about me. That may be a bit redundant. We'll learn more there. And then recent posts, so you've already got that up here. So we could probably make better use of this footer. Have a stronger call to action or something. All right, let's get into it. Overall, first impressions, pretty good. A little bit basic design, but it's easy to navigate, and it's full of text and images. Let's just check real quickly here. Okay, it's a good length title. It's a great length description. It cuts off here. Let's do. You've got a little more room. You've got 155 characters. They're using 128, so you could even bump that up a bit more. It's indexable. It's canonical. Yeah, looks good. Let's take a look at the headings real quickly. Okay, here we go. There are only 2 headings on this page, and neither one is an H1. So the first thing I would do is get an H1 on here, telling you what the site is. Projects for your life, home improvement projects, farmhouse style projects, home and garden projects for your life. as an H1 and describe it so that Google knows overall what this page, and in particular for this page because it's the homepage, what the site is about. Latest project and recent posts are not meaningful terms. You want to have some good keywords in there so that Google can get you ranked for those. So images, you've got 4 that don't have alt text, and you've got all 13 don't have title text. And that's a really easy fix in WordPress. You just go into your media area, click on each image, and give it a title. And that title can be descriptive. It can be, you can use some keywords in there. The alt text, you want to just be careful to describe what the image is. It's not the end of the world. It's not actually bad if your image doesn't have alt text, if you did it on purpose. The alt text is so that if someone who, for example, is blind comes in and they're using a screen reader, you want the screen reader to be able to describe to them what is in the image. If the image is just decorative, you can leave it blank on purpose if it's not actually adding any value to the content. But in many cases, in most cases, it does add value to the content, so it's helpful for those users for you to describe that in the alt text. Okay, let's jump over here. So here's a blog post, flea market booth business tips, 9 tips to boost profit. Okay, this is long. There's a lot of content here. Lots of images. Again, I'm guessing a lot of these images, we do have captions. I don't know if they have titles or alt text. I'm not seeing anything popping up here. But they are using headings. That's great. These images here are going to be captured if you try to load it into Pinterest. This is the kind of image that will do well inside of Pinterest because it has text over it. So those are great to see. Thanks for reading. I love DIY. Reader questions. Okay, really, I'll try to wrap this up now. This is a lot of end kind of filler content. Thanks for reading. It's nice that you're appreciative, but just give us shorter, more concise calls to action. I think if there's if you want to get donations, just put a buy me coffee button here. People know what that means at a glance. You don't really have to describe yourself too much. You can put another button that says questions and comments. You can have another button that just says get our newsletter. So yeah, I don't think, and here it's probably on the Hog Hill homepage. Just say most popular articles and link straight to it. You've got a bunch of links here, but I don't know what's the difference between these with all the emojis and these down below. So we could pull those together. These links, 7,000 times. These are great. You could, on desktop, have them so they kind of hover and they're accessible all the time. Some people hate that. A lot of people don't actually share to social media from these much these days. So you may test taking it out of there and see if that affects things or making it more prominent. I would beef up your author section. So your author section can actually include kind of a biography and a photo and things like that to describe the person. On this site, it probably doesn't make a huge difference, but Google relies a lot on what they call EEAT. One of those is expertise, experience and expertise. And so if you can establish, especially in health or finance or things like that, if you can establish that you have expertise through your author bio, that actually does help your search engine rankings. This is kind of a pet peeve of mine. So here you've got other articles they can read, and then you've got kind of a previous and a next. We don't need all these. Just give me like 3 or 4 posts down at the bottom, just like we have here on the homepage. If you took 3 of these blocks and you displayed it right at the end of the article, that would go a long way, I think. Comments are great. Hopefully these are lazy loading. If you can lazy load these so that they don't load until someone gets down to this part of the site, it'll help your page load go faster. That improves your search engine rankings. But yeah, it's all in all, it's clean. It's a pretty basic WordPress layout, easy to navigate, keyword full. Let's take a look here. We got keyword cloud. Here's some of your author bio. So if that's the only author on the site, or if this is dynamic to that post, then great. You don't need this and the one at the bottom. Just pick one. All right, so let's look at some of this page's attributes. Flea market booth business, 9 tips to boost profit. Okay, looks great. That's a great descriptive title. You got the site name. You got a long description here showing what it's about, but you're within the keyword limits. You're 1 character over for the description, but that's a period. I don't think it matters. You're fine. This is great. 3,791 words. It's solid. It's a lot. That's a lot of rich content for Google to dig through. Headings. Okay. The headings are largely taken care of. If you're following, if you are building posts in WordPress, WordPress is going to make sure you only have, it's going to make sure you have a header that is the page title that's in H1. And unless you go out of your way to try to accidentally make something else in H1, everything else should largely fall into place. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, these are all H2s. That's great. And then any H3s inside there are just extra. That's great. Those look good. No real concerns. I do wonder, what is this post navigation one? I think that's all that content way down here at the bottom. And I just don't think that area is necessary. Yeah, looks good. Let's go check out images. 35 images, a lot of images, but it's good. 2 don't have alt text. None of them have titles. So again, go back through, add titles to those. Let me check one thing here. Let's check that one in a new tab. That one in a new tab. I have a feeling. That one. Let's try that one. Okay. Yeah, look how big that is. That's a very large image, and it's much larger than it was displayed here in the content. See how wide this one is? Compare that to how wide this one is. So what's happening is you're loading a much larger file than you need to load here. And that causes the page to take longer to load. It's a pretty big one. That one is huge. I don't remember how that one was displayed. This doesn't look egregiously large, but it's definitely larger than you're using. Okay, this one's okay. A little big, but not horrible. All right, so that's a blog post. This one's basically going to be the same. I think we're going to have basically the same results here. Let me just check real quickly. Yep, add title tags. Your heading. Oh, you've got 2 headings here. Don't want that. These are H2s. This one probably should be an H2. And then these may need to become H3s inside of that H2. Google also doesn't like it when you have an H1 and then your next one is an H3. They don't like that. That throws them off, and that's happening twice here. So you want H1, you want your 2s to be nested inside the 1 level, and then 3s should be inside of a 2. So just be careful about that. And yeah, description's a little long here. I cut that down a bit. All in all, it's pretty good. And again, they're using a pretty simple WordPress theme, and so I think it takes care of a lot of the details for them. Here is your blog post list. This is the artsy crafty category. Okay, this is a visual site. I would probably look into making these bigger. Let's have the images real big, and then the text overlaid on top of that or underneath it. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Some kind of gap here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Another gap. They must be using something to insert ads. Oh yeah, I've got this turned on. Let's reload that. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't know why it's not loading. Wait, take a minute. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, we've got an added loading in here. Okay, so that's fine. That's just okay. When you get to the bottom, there's an older. You may just want to make that infinite scroll so that as you go down, it loads more and more, and that just helps people who just want to continue scrolling. Asking people to click this doesn't seem like it should be a big ask, but it ends up being one. Looks pretty good though. Do a gut check. That is good. Description is slightly longer than it should be, but it's not horrible. Look at the headings map, H1, all the H2s for the titles. And you get H3s way down here for all of the extra links. Images, no titles on those. Let's check here. What am I looking for? Page speed. All right. So I pulled the category page. Probably not the best page to pull, but largest contentful paint, green. First input delay is green. Cumulative layout shift is green. All those look pretty good. Notable metrics. Some of these are in the yellow. Your overall site performance is a bit yellow. Yeah, your time to interactive is 4 seconds. So these, you can see these images, they load up real quickly over here. There's one where it's blank, and then you've got content. So it's, as far as the user's experience is concerned, it's popping up pretty quickly, but you do have some unused JavaScript here. It looks like Lottie Player is causing a bit of a delay in loading, and I didn't see any. Lottie is a JavaScript tool for inserting animations, custom like animations from their site, and I didn't see any of those loading. So if that's not in use, I would pull that JavaScript out of there, and that will make your pages faster. I don't know what all of these are. This is Mediavine. That's the one that's loading the ad content. Okay, some of these 2.5 seconds. These aren't bad. They're not terrible. So yeah, this one's kind of your most egregious one here. Accessibility looks good. Best practices look good. Looks like you might have an old API for Gum. I don't even know what that is. Maybe Gumroad. All in all, looks pretty good. I'm guessing desktop will look better. Yep. Oh no. Get that to run again for desktop. Meanwhile, let's just jump over here. Terms of use. This is probably not necessary since it's labeled there, but I'm being pretty nitpicky. Legalese, it's fine. The layout, the website layout's fine. On pages like this, where it's like, this is a legal page, this is all legalese. I usually get rid of the sidebar. I don't think you're gonna, if you're reading the terms of use, you're not looking to, go navigate from there out to another article. So I personally usually just clear everything out of the sidebar and let this content go full screen. If someone wants to read your boring pages, they just want to be bored. So let's give them what they want. Okay, this is the email sign up page. Don't miss a thing. Sign up for email updates. No one is ever going to read this stuff. And if you really want, the most valuable thing you can get from someone is their email address. So if they're on this page, again, I would not distract them with any of this stuff on the sidebar. And in fact, I don't think you should try to send somebody to a specific landing page just for this. There are tools, there are plugins you can get for your site so that you can put a join our email list anywhere on the page, and when someone clicks it, it'll open it up in an overlay. Wherever they are on the site, they can join your newsletter. Make this title really catchy, and then get rid of all this stuff because no one's going to read it. They know what your site offers. That's why they're here. They don't need an explanation. I would put in very small letters underneath your subscribe button a link to privacy policy for details. I protect and never sell. That's fine. You can keep it there, but it doesn't need to be big. It's just a reassurance. So just make it small, put it under the subscribe button, and make that form as simple and basic as possible. This is what I'm wondering about, why we have two about pages. Child of the 80s, I grew up in that sweet spot, analog and tech. Okay, so this is about the website owner, or author, I guess. And then this is about the Hawk Hill farm that she bought. This can all be consolidated into one page, though. I'm willing to bet none of this ever gets read. If you look at your average time on page for these, people are skimming. So if you really have stuff you want to highlight here, put it in headings or bullets, or tell a more visual story, but nobody's reading all this text. As much as website owners like to think that everyone wants to learn all about their details, nobody really does. So this is great. If you can describe it here, that's probably as much as anyone's ever going to read in detail. If you really have a great story to tell, that's awesome. I would put it in a video, and I would try to get that on the homepage or, on your social media channels and things like that. But no one's going to be reading long blocks of text that are not like instructions for completing a craft. So that's my 2 cents there. Let's jump back over here to the page speed insights. Yeah, 99 on desktop. That's great. You really can't do much better than this. That's fantastic. So no critiques there. I think SEO wise, there are a few little tweaks you can do to improve search rankings. Primarily, it's going to be optimizing images to be the right size and adding titles to those images. And then fixing some of your heading, H1s, H2s, things like that. But aside from that, I mean, it's a simple, clean site. It loads quickly, navigates quickly. It's pretty easy to find what you're looking for. Lots of rich text for the search engines to find. So yeah, I think I've got a few usability suggestions, but aside from that, I'd give it a B+, maybe an A-. I think it's going to rank well. I think it's easy for people to get where they want to go. And there are probably some things you can do to improve the usability to increase the revenue that you're pulling in by adding like simple buy me coffee buttons and join our newsletter buttons and things like that. But looks pretty good. All right. So that's the end of it. That's my review of Hawk hawkhill.com. My name is Ryan the Jenks Jenkins. I develop websites and help businesses to improve their revenue and grow their business through conversion rate optimization and search engine optimization. And that's my review of Hawk Hill. If you'd like your website to be reviewed, drop a link down in the comments below, and I'll try to get to it. Please like and subscribe. If you have other websites you'd like me to do unsolicited reviews of, let me know that as well. And that's it. Have a great day. Talk to you next time.